We're continuing this series called Want More, and I think we can all learn something from that little girl, right? I don't know if you guys have seen, who's seen that clip before. And it's a girl like pumping herself up before each day. And today we're talking about appreciating ourselves. I think we can all learn something from that little girl because, I don't know about you guys, but back in kindergarten, I feel like we did that a lot. We appreciated ourselves a lot. And then going into junior high and high school, we just don't take the time to do that. And it might look silly, it might look stupid, and you don't have to do it in front of a mirror, but I think in some form, we need to be appreciating ourselves somehow. This series is called Wanting More, and so you should want more for yourself than just what others think. Like, what do you see when you look in the mirror? Are you happy with what you see? You need to appreciate yourself. That's what we're talking about today. First way that we do that, there's going to be 3 ways. First way is you have to know yourself more. It starts with knowing who you are. We have to understand how we are wired. Like, what makes us up? How do we think? How do we interact with others? There's personality tests out there that do that. I don't know if you guys have taken personality tests before. Anybody? Like, there's one where there's like, you're either a lion, an otter, a beaver, or a golden retriever. And I'm like almost 90% golden retriever. Like, I'm very loyal. I work well with others. That's me. So we have to understand who we are, how we work with others. There's lots of other different tests out there that can show us who we are. So, I mean, a simple search on Twitter or the internet, anywhere, could probably find you some personality tests to get to know yourself a little bit better, know how you interact with others. And then the second thing we need to do is we need to talk to ourselves more than we listen to ourselves. It might sound weird, but right now, in your head, you were talking to yourself. Nobody talks to you more than you talk to you. You're doing it right now. Maybe you're thinking, wow, it's really cold in here. Or, man, I am not ready for that science test later today. There's lots of things that are going on in your head. And for whatever reason, when we wake up, most of the time, we're kind of more prone to be more negative to ourselves. And the reason why I know that is because I have a Twitter. I took a screenshot of something this morning, and I see one of these a day. Some senior in high school tweeted this out this morning, and I took a screenshot. It just says, "I feel like death incarnate." That was his first thoughts about waking up. Half of you guys just went, "Me, that's totally me." And we laugh at that, and there's partly it's humorous to laugh at that, but I think it also speaks to something that's deep down inside of us, that maybe we're more prone to be more negative about ourselves than positive. And so I want to challenge you guys to maybe not do that and start your day the right way instead of doing that. Preach to yourself if you have to. Teach yourself things that you know. Remind yourself. Because not only do we talk to ourselves a lot, we forget a lot. And so find a way to kind of capture the moment. Find a way to record things down. Maybe write down words of affirmation to yourself. Whatever you need to do. Even if it makes you look stupid, do it so that you can appreciate yourself. Because you also need to be confident in who you are. Be confident in who you are. You were created a certain way. Your parents brought you up a certain way. Be confident in who you are. There is nobody like you. Nobody. Think about that. Biologically, sociologically, psychologically, there's nobody like you. And maybe you're still working on yourself. That's true. You guys are in junior high. You're in no way fully developed. Even the high schoolers are not fully developed. You're not even fully developed up here. Like, your brain doesn't even stop developing and stop cooking until you're like in your early to mid 20s, really. And that's kind of when you find out who you are. And right now you're finding that out. And I think the trap that we can fall into is that we tend to compare ourselves to others. Like, well, I wish I was kind of like them. Or I wish that was going to happen to me. How many of you guys are like the last person to turn in your test whenever there's a test? That was me. Yeah, that was me. Because I was always afraid that I was going to get something wrong. And I always had like a mini anxiety panic attack when the first person stood up and turned in their tests. And I'm like, I'm only on the first page, how's that person done? And so you can compare yourself and like second guess yourself. And I remember some tests I would end up going back and like doing almost the whole test again, changing ideas and answers around. When really, I probably should have just been confident in what I chose. So be confident in yourself. This next one is kind of weird. Stick with me. But you need to date yourself. Yeah. And maybe it's not exactly like you think it is, that I'm saying? But imagine any kind of relationship that you're in. You want to treat that person well. You want to get to know them. It takes work to get to know them, and going on dates is a way that you get to know them. So date yourself. Get to know yourself. Put in the work to get to know you. Anytime there's anything you can celebrate, maybe treat yourself to something. Treat yourself. You need to do that on a regular basis. Yeah. For all my Parks and Rec fans, got it. So treat ourselves. So that's knowing ourselves. And we shouldn't be afraid to know ourselves. Because if we don't know ourselves, I don't think we're able to know other people well, or treat them well, or appreciate them well too. So the next one is know your surroundings more. We talked about knowing yourself more. Now you need to know your surroundings more. The things that you have in your life, the things that you have been blessed with. Really, you should not let life just pass by. If you can look back at times of your life and there's just blank periods of time where you're like, I don't really remember what I did. I don't really remember the 4th grade. I don't know. Like, I think it's because we're not conscious in the time really understanding what's going on. So capture it however you can. You guys have been given amazing technology to be able to do that. You know, post stuff that you can look back on in 10 years and be like, wow, I'm glad that I did that. Maybe don't post the stuff that you'll look back in 10 years and go, wow, I wish I did not do that. Because there's probably going to be a lot more of that stuff, let's be honest. So 85% of the stuff that I post is probably stupid and just kind of funny. But then there are really important things that I post too. So maybe journal, take pictures, be thankful for what you have. You don't have to wait for Thanksgiving to do that. Maybe every now and then just take out a journal, take out a piece of paper, write down some of the things that you're thankful for. It puts you in a better state of mind, and you're able to appreciate your life, your surroundings more. How many of you guys have been like really sick before and you stayed home from school? I'm not talking about like staying home from school and watching The Price is Right sick. Like that's the good kind of sick. I'm talking about you're in front of a toilet all day. Like that kind of sick. Yeah. I think those are the times where we truly appreciate our health, right? We're like, man, I wish the sickness was gone. I wish I was healthy. But as the opposite of that, like right now, most of you guys are probably healthy, you feel fine. We don't take the time to appreciate that, right? Like we just like take a moment, we're like, yeah, my head feels good, body feels good, I don't feel sick, I don't feel sore. Hey, life's pretty good right now. Like we don't take those moments to do that. But we wish that we could do that when we're sick, right? When we're like in front of a toilet and like, make it end! Like, you're wanting that to end. And you can like, oh, I remember yesterday when I didn't feel any of this. So appreciate that, know your surroundings more. Because if you're not thankful now for what you have, you're setting yourself up for failure later. Because when you're giving more things in high school, more things in college, and more things in adulthood, and you didn't learn how to appreciate them when you had little things, then you're not going to appreciate the big things either. So we've talked about knowing ourselves, knowing our surroundings, and the last thing we're going to talk about is just knowing your worth. Knowing how much you are worth. Human life is precious. It's the most precious thing on the face of the planet. We are unique among everything that is on this earth. Like, look at the animals. None of them eat around dinner tables. Like, dinner tables are pretty unique to humans, right? Like, there's a lion doesn't kill a zebra and like drag it to like a dinner table and be like, oh, how was your day today? Oh, I killed a gazelle. Oh, that's cool. Ah, and like eat it. They don't do that. So we're able to come around, do different things than everything else. We are precious. We are fundamentally unique. Something else that we need to do is work on separating our works with our worth. You are more than just the things that you do. You are more than the grades that you get, the accomplishments that you've made. You are more than the choices, the mistakes you've made. You are more than all those things. When we fail, remember that it's an outward thing and not an inward thing. We can only fail inwardly when we forget who we really are. Anytime that we fail a test or do something that, really is bad, we need to look and bounce back, realizing, okay, I can do better next time. Just because I failed this one time doesn't mean that me as a person failed. So learn how to bounce back. So in the end, putting all these things together, you need to want more for yourself. You need to learn how to appreciate yourself so that we can appreciate each other. Really, it's not about how good you look to others. It's about you looking in the mirror and appreciating who you are as a person. It's not just for kindergartners, that's for all of us, and we can't stop doing that. So appreciate yourself for who you are. Peace out.